Hey, what is up everybody? My name is LEG and welcome to yet again another awesome video on the channel. We're going to be talking about the newly announced Valkyria Chronicles 4, which is set to release on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch worldwide in 2018. My knowledge on the Valkyria Chronicles series is extremely slim, but I'm going to say one thing for everybody that is remotely thinking about getting into the Valkyria Chronicles games based on this video, or at least thinking about getting into Valkyria Chronicles 4. One thing I will tell you all is that you do not need to play Valkyria Chronicles 1, 2, or 3 to understand 4. You do not need to play the previous games to understand this one. Similar to Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, or Fire Emblem, these games do not correlate with each other. Each game has different characters, is ultimately set in the same universe, but they do not correlate with each other. They are with different characters, different stories, different journeys. You do not need to play the prior games to understand this one. So I'm really happy to say that Valkyria Chronicles 4 can be a fresh new adventure for anybody that wants to get into the franchise. You do not need to play the old ones in order to play this one. If you do want to play any of the old ones, you can play the recent one that just came out, which is Valkyria Revolution, which I personally wouldn't recommend, being that it deters from the mainline gameplay of the main series, and it's a spin-off game of the main Valkyria Chronicles series. It's called Valkyria Revolution, and it's still, like, you know, in the Valkyria universe, so it's still in the franchise, but it's a spin-off game, and it got extremely bad reviews, and I don't recommend it. But a game that I do recommend is Valkyria Chronicles Remastered for the PlayStation 4. I don't even think it's a full $60, and it's a original remaster of the first Valkyria Chronicles game in the franchise that came out in 2008 on the PlayStation 3. So if you want to get a little dose of Valkyria Chronicles before Valkyria Chronicles 4 comes out, Valkyria Chronicles Remastered is a great way of, you know, getting a little bit of that Valkyria Chronicles goodness. I personally have wanted to play Remastered, I'm just going to say VC because I've been saying Valkyria Chronicles like 5 times in less than a minute already. VC Remastered, I've wanted to play that for a very long time, and it's been on my PS4 wish list, but I never really got the chance to play it, and now I have a little bit more incentive to play it now that VC4 is coming out. So, with that said, we have a lot to talk about in this video regarding the news on Valkyria Chronicles 4. We have to talk about the story of the game, the story synopsis, along with the key features that are going to be included within the game, along with all the characters that have been revealed on the weekly Famitsu page. So, without further ado, let's start with the synopsis on the story of Valkyria Chronicles 4. It is the year 1935 EC. The continent of Europa is engulfed in the flames of the Second European War between the Atlantic Federation and the autocratic Eastern Imperial Alliance. Although the Federation struggles valiantly against the Empire's forces, the relentless Imperial military machine threatens to consume them. With victory slipping away, the Federation executes Operation Northern Cross, a last-ditch attempt to capture the Imperial capital and end the war. Commander Claude Wallace and his loyal childhood friends in Squad E are sent to fight for the desperate operation's success, but they will have to endure harsh, bone-chilling elements, waves of Imperial soldiers, and the terrifying Valkyria, and unravel a grave truth that will shake them to the core. As I said earlier, they feature different characters in every single game, so Claude Wallace, the person I just mentioned, and Squad E are going to be a new cast of characters for your adventure in Valkyria Chronicles 4, which is going to be awesome. Now, let's go over the key features that Matsu's article gives us. So it says right here in the key features, a coming-of-age story in a time of war. Valkyria Chronicles 4 takes place in the same time frame as the original Valkyria Chronicles, but focuses on a whole new cast of main characters. Players will take command of the eager young Commander Claude Wallace, engineer/heavy weapons extraordinaire Riley Miller, hot-headed Darkson Raz, ice-cold ace sniper Kai Shulun, and more. Together they will experience the painful realities of war, but will the bonds of Squad E's friendship survive the frozen battlefield? By the way, on the pronunciation of Shaloon or Kai, whatever that guy's name is, please don't rash me. Along with Darkson, I have no idea how to pronounce these names. The game just got announced recently. Cut me some slack. Next bullet point that we have on the key features is the next generation Blitz battle system. The part overhead turn-based strategy, part RPG, and part real-time third-person shooter Blitz battle system returns to the field, out. I guess the Blitz battle system is the one used in every one of the Valkyria Chronicles games. It's a really hard gameplay system to describe because it's so different like any other, and the way they just described it right there, part RPG, part turn-based strategy, part real-time third-person shooter, that is kind of the best way to describe it. So it really is kind of like all those things mixed up in a blender, and it's one of the many reasons why I say it's kind of like Fire Emblem, because it does, the RPG and turn-based strategy are already things that are in Fire Emblem, but the real-time third-person shooter aspect is something that is in, you know, the Valkyria Chronicles series that makes it different than Fire Emblem in terms of the gameplay. New features include an explosive new class called the Grenader, numerous offensive/defensive battleship support options, chances for a unit to have a last stand action before death, and more. Plus, fight the Imperial threat with more units on a larger scale maps than ever before. Next, on the bullet points, we have Canvas Aesthetics. The series' signature hand-drawn visual style is back and overhauled for the newest generation. Inspired by watercolor compositions, the Canvas graphics engine blends visual elements of reality and imagination to create an expressive world filled with colorful emotions. Watch the journey of Squad E unfold like an interactive painting. I have really been excited for this game, mainly because of the art style. If you watch the announcement trailer, they do have that type of watercolor palette type art style. It's not just like, oh, anime, we're just gonna like throw some anime people on this. I really like that they have a somewhat unique art style, especially for video games, that you don't really see often. You don't really see that watercolor type of stuff often, especially in an anime type of game, you know? I really feel like the Valkyria Chronicles series is famous and or popularized that type of art style that you don't really see in any other games. Next, on the last bullet point, we have the return of a legendary composer. The illustrious Hitoshi Sakimoto, original composer of the Valkyria Chronicles series and countless other emotional epics, returns to provide a sweeping orchestral soundtrack for the game. Next, we have to talk about the characters. We went over the key features and the synopsis of the game, but so now we're going to talk about the characters of Valkyria Chronicles 4. First, we have the person I mentioned earlier, Claude Wallace, the protagonist, Edinburgh Army 101st Division No. 1, Battle Brigade No. 32 Armored Leisure Battalion Squad E squad leader and tanker. A first lieutenant, he is a serious, passionate, and caring commanding officer. So that's the protagonist right there. I really like everyone's design, how it's like set for winter time. I really like that. I like the protagonist design. Next, we have Riley Miller, the heroine, a member of the Edinburgh Army 101st Division No. 1 Battle Brigade No. 32 Armored Leisure Battalion's Heavy Weapon Support Team. A Grenader, a second lieutenant technician. She is a positive and cheerful and ambitious in that she pushes forward without fear of failure. Awesome. I like female protags. They're dope. Next, we have Raz, a division officer of Squad E. Since he is of the persecuted Darkson people, he does not have a last name. He belongs to the infantry class of the army. Oh, since he, you know, persecuted Darkson, I wonder. We heard Darkson earlier in this reading, so I wonder how that links to what we were talking about earlier. Next, we have Kai Shulin, a division officer of Squad E and a prodigy sharpshooter known as the One-Shot Killer. That's, oh god. Yeah, I see how it is right now. See how it's kind of like Fire Emblem, where everybody is a different class, and in gameplay, if you're looking at the Valkyria Chronicles Remastered gameplay right now on screen, you're probably seeing how each person is used differently, how the Grenader is used differently, how each person has their specific skills that will help them in their own ways in the battle, and you can use those skills to your advantage in many ways that you could not use those skills on with other characters, you know? That's one thing I really like about these strategy games. Everybody has different abilities and everybody has a different purpose within the game. I know that's not exactly unique to Valkyria Chronicles or anything, but it's just an aspect about strategy games that I have come to like over time. I've played Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle along with Fire Emblem Echoes, so I do kind of know about the real-time strategy-ness. Real-time is the wrong word, excuse me, like strategy-ness, just meant to say strategy in general. Excuse my language, but there are a couple of screenshots thoughts on Valkyria Chronicles 4. Not many that I want to show, but there are a couple that I decided to show, and you know, you're going to be seeing those. And then there is the announcement trailer for Valkyria Chronicles, which you probably can click in the link in the description if you want to see the full announcement trailer, but I'm going to be, you know, just showing you a little bit in the background here. Other than that, that's really all we have to say about Valkyria Chronicles 4 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, which is going to be coming out in 2018. Please tell me what you think about Valkyria Chronicles 4. Do you think that you're interested in the game enough to go back and play Valkyria Chronicles Remastered on the PlayStation 4? Do you think that you're going to get Valkyria Chronicles 4 for the PlayStation 4 when the time comes in 2018? See what I did there? I kind of rhymed. But regardless, tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. Do not forget to follow me on Twitter at UltimateOG for the latest YouTube video updates and Twitch livestream updates. To watch my Twitch live streams, follow me on twitch.tv/IamAliG. And if you want to join the public Discord to talk to me and my viewers directly, you can do that by clicking the link in the description down below. And most importantly, do not forget to like and subscribe. My name is Ali G, and I cannot wait to see you guys later. Deuces.